Goodness. So I did my own hair this morning. You know, it's not only my hair that's crazy, I'm a little crazy too, because I'm all cooped up. But sometimes I get to go out and slink around the house and around in the garden, and that helps me so I'm not as crazy. But how are you?
Well, I'm good, Marvin, and I like your hair. And
And I
after,
like your pink hair.
thank you. After the story today, we're going to go around and we're going to highlight everybody's hair because
Woo!
we want to show Marvin our hairdos. But right
Okay.
now, we're going to listen to a Bible story. But before we do that, Marvin, can you remind us real quickly what we talked about last week?
Well, it was Easter last week. It seems like a long time ago, but boy, and then on Good Friday, Jesus died, but then on Easter, he was raised from the dead. That's why we celebrate Easter. He's alive.
Very good. Nice, good job remembering.
Well,
Marvin,
it's hard to forget that.
Marvin, have you ever wondered if something that somebody told you was true?
Well, yeah, I have lots of questions, and sometimes I'm wondered. And you know what? Sometimes I'm even afraid to ask if I wonder, and I don't ask questions. But I think all questions are good, and we all have questions. I think the disciples had questions.
Yes, I agree with you. Asking questions about Jesus and the Bible stories helps you be a better follower of Jesus. We're going
You
to
bet.
listen to some questions that Thomas had in this story. Are you ready, Marvin? And everyone else, put your thumbs up. You're ready for the story. Okay, it looks
I don't
like...
have any thumbs, but I'm ready.
Okay, Marvin, here we go. I'm going to start reading the story from the Bible. Now,
Good.
okay? On the same day that the women found the empty tomb, Jesus surprised the disciples. All the disciples were in a room together except for Thomas. The doors were locked because they were afraid that the people who had killed Jesus would look for them.
Boy, that's a lot like this coronavirus now. We're locked up in our houses too, and we're kind of afraid too of this coronavirus. But, you know, sometimes it's fun to be at home, but sometimes it's a little boring too, not seeing my friends and all. So it's kind of tough too.
I agree. And then in the story, suddenly Jesus was in the room with them, but no one had unlocked the door. Peace be with you, said Jesus. Before he left, he showed them the scars on his hand and on his side. The disciples were joyful and happy.
I'll bet you they were, but wow, Jesus just coming in, just didn't he through a locked door, and then seeing the wounds, I would have been a little scared, but boy, I would have been happy to see him. He's alive, and now I know it. The ladies told me that last week, but now I know. Woo!
Marvin, you are never short of enthusiasm. Thank you. Okay, back to our story. When Thomas came back, the disciples started to talk all at once. They were very excited. Jesus is back. We've seen him up close. But Thomas was not sure they were telling the truth. I'm not so sure that I believe you. I'll believe you when I see the scars on his hands and the gash in his side, or the scar in his side. I want to see with my eyes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's why we call people who doubt what people say doubting Thomases. I sort of don't blame Thomas. I would have had questions too. You say that's okay, isn't it, Julie? To have doubts?
It's great to have questions. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's how we learn about the Bible stories and about everything, is by asking questions.
Good.
Okay, well, 8 days later, the disciples were back in that same room they had been in after Jesus was died. This time, Thomas was there. Suddenly, Jesus appeared in the room again, even though the door was locked. Jesus blessed them and said, "Peace be with you." Jesus said to Thomas, "Put your hands on my hands. See the marks where the soldiers hurt me? Here I am, scars and all. Believe that I am alive." Amazed, Thomas touched Jesus' scars and he said, "Jesus, I believe that it is you."
Boy, oh boy, touching Jesus's scars. I guess that would have convinced me. Boy, oh boy. I don't have fingers, so I would have had to use my nose.
You are very creative and very right, Marvin. Thomas, Jesus said, do you believe it is me because you can see me? Those who believe without seeing me will truly be blessed and know that I love them.
Well, I know that Jesus loves me. He does. I can't see Jesus because he's in heaven now, but I know when I pray, he listens to me. I feel it. It's kind of like the song. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. So if I worry, I kind of sing that, and that makes me feel good, like Jesus is right there with me. I have faith.
Oh, Marvin, you are such a source of strength. Okay, after that day, Jesus did many wonderful things. He showed everyone's God's love for the world. Some people wrote down what they remembered about Jesus and his stories. Because they did, we can learn even more about him, even though we can't see him.
Yup, we've got the Bible and we can read the stories. And even if we don't see him, we have faith that he is there. And that makes me feel real good.
Nice. Okay, Marvin, what do you say when you're amazed? Like if you were Thomas in that room, what would you have said?
When I'm amazed, I shake my hair, I shout, super coolo, fantastico, banana, whoopee doopy, zippity doodah, to the moon, Alice. And then I run around, I eat a few earthworms, and then sometimes I might just pray and say, wow.
Wow, Marvin, you must have gotten up early this morning because you have a lot of energy.
Yep, I had a couple of cups of coffee this morning.
Very good. Well, Marvin, do you want to see everyone's crazy hair